Hi, this is Massachusetts Matt, and today we are making gravy. First thing you want to do is get your bird out of the brine water and transfer it over to a baking pan, or I have this half hotel pan that I always use. Okay, once you get your turkey seated in the pan the way you like, you just want to go ahead and grab the neck and any of the innards that came with the turkey. Usually they stuff it inside in a bag. Let's see. Looks like this one only came with the neck, so that's fine. We'll just go ahead and use that. So we'll just take our neck and put it aside for now. So for our gravy, you want to take that turkey neck that we set aside, and I have a pan about medium heat with some butter and oil in it. Just go ahead and drop that in, and we'll start frying up. And you want to fry the neck until it starts to turn brown on both sides, maybe about 10 minutes. And while it's frying, when you flip it to the other side, I have some pretty coarsely chopped onions and some carrots over here. I'm just going to add that in for a little more flavor. And then once the turkey neck is fully brown, I'm going to go ahead and add lots of vegetable stock. And you can add any leftover veggies that you had that didn't fit inside the turkey cavity. And also you want to add some sage, some rosemary, and some thyme. And just let that simmer for the whole time your turkey cooks. And then the way that gravy works is we're going to take the turkey out of the oven, and we're going to take all the pan juices that came out and pour that out into a container. And then we're going to separate the solids and the fat. As a base for our gravy, we'll create a roux, pour the meat solids into that, and then we'll start whisking in stock, and that's going to make our gravy. So this is nice and fried up now. Go ahead and give it a flip. Slippery turkey neck. And we can go ahead and start adding our veggies. And just let that saute for a little while. And we're going to add stock. My turkey neck and my onions are browning up, so now it's time to add the stock and veggies. I got about 144 ounces of stock, which is probably going to be a bit overkill, but I'm going to make some stuffing later as well, so I want to make sure I have enough. And then I have some leftover celery from when I was chopping before. Some onions. Let's go ahead and throw that in. I got a whole garlic. And I'm going to use some rosemary, some sage, and some thyme. Just want to put a pretty decent amount in there. Alright, and you just let that simmer for the whole time the turkey cooks. And once the turkey comes out, we'll go ahead and put our gravy together. Okay, so now that our turkey's done, for our gravy, we want to take the pan drippings and pour those into a bowl. And then we're going to separate the fat and the solids, and that will help us build our gravy. But first we're going to get those pan drippings out. If you have a big sink, this gets kind of messy, so I recommend putting a bowl into the sink. And you definitely will need assistance with this. When you go ahead and pour the turkey into the bowl, you want somebody to hold on to the turkey so it doesn't come flying out of the pan. So let's give this a shot. Thank you very much.
Hello, Daddy.
Alright, now we got our pan drippings in a bowl,
Hi,
and I'm going to show you how to separate them.
Hi, Dad.
I don't have a proper fat separation tool, so I'm going to show you a trick that I use. The first thing you're going to need is a freezer storage bag, and you want to go ahead and just pour all those pan drippings right into this bag. And then you're going to need something heavy to hold this up. You want the storage bag to sit at an angle, so in a few minutes you can already see the fat is rising to the top and the meat solids settle to the bottom. So you want to just let this sit for a little while. My friend Austin gave me a pretty awesome cast iron pan years ago, and other than making really good meats, it serves as a really nice paperweight for this trick. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this right over here into a sink, and I'm going to leave this sit for a few minutes until the fats rise to the top and the meat solids are on the bottom, and then I'll show you how to make a gravy with that. Okay, so to start off our gravy, the first thing we're going to do is make a roux, and I got about a half a stick of butter there over medium heat, and we're going to go ahead and let that melt down, and once it starts melting down, we can gradually whisk in some flour, and once the flour starts to turn brown, then that's when we're going to start to add our meat solids in. That's still over in the other sink separating, so once that's ready, I'll go ahead and grab that and add that here, but first let's get our roux going. So we can go ahead and start adding flour. I just do it by eye. This is probably like 4 tablespoons or so. Just keep whisking that up so we don't get lumps in our gravy. Now we got kind of a gummy consistency going. I'm going to go ahead and go over and get the meat solids. Just take this off for a second. So you can see most of the fats rise to the top. The way we get that out, we're going to take some scissors and cut the corner of this bag open. And let that pour out. And then once it gets to the fat, you just turn to the other side. And then just put that aside. Keep whisking. Now we got a very thick consistency going. You can start adding stock in here. Just keep whisking. Oh, gravy. You're looking so good. All right. So now we got a pretty good consistency with our gravy going. And you can just let that cook down for a little bit.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Maya. Maya, why don't you come on this side? Hey, Maya. Here's our gravy. Do you want to taste it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, let's try it out.
I do, but it's in the pumpkin. Because it's a red, a blue, a pink,
You can see our gravy is looking very gravy-like right now.
a gravy.
All right, Maya, let's give it a taste.
Okay.
Okay, you taste it. Good job. How is it?
Good.
Good? All right. And that is our gravy.